I want to share with you guys what's happened to my building. So here's the building right here. That's the one of the main street that crosses where the warehouse is, and this is the building. Each of the roll-up doors is a separate warehouse space. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13 actually on this side. So 26, 13 on the other side. But anyway, so normally this one on the end is open, or if not open, there's usually at least 3 cars over here. And those guys work from early in the morning. I mean, I've come here at 7 a.m. They're here. I've come here earlier, and sometimes they're even here. And they usually go until about 4 or 5. And they eat their lunch there, go through the day. And they're not there. And it's, what is it, like 1:45 in the afternoon on Thursday afternoon at 1:45. There's a guy next to me who's like an importer, exporter, and he's usually here. He kind of comes and goes, but lately he's been here. There's another one right next to me that's kind of hit or miss. This truck is always there, but it's they might come once a week. But the other one next door, there's always at least 2 cars here, sometimes 3, and none of those are here. Yeah, and there's like 2 cars down there that mean that there's people here. That truck does not mean that. So it's like a ghost town here. Yeah, it's kind of like went from very busy. I remember just 2 or 3 weeks ago, even actually when I had my last sale, which was 3 weeks ago tomorrow, I was worried about there not being enough parking on Friday because these were always pretty packed. And now, now there's just nobody here because of the virus. Yeah, because actually the people down here, they were still showing up. At least one person was showing up. Usually there was the owner, and then they had a couple of workers, employees that would show up. But that went down to one person, and then she stopped showing up a couple days ago, probably like Tuesday. I think yesterday she wasn't here, and then maybe I saw her on Tuesday. And so it's really affected everybody. I'm coming in because it's just me working and not open to the public. So, all I'm doing is preparing stuff for online sales, putting stuff aside for when I'm able to do my local sale. But yeah, a lot of people are being impacted by this. And these aren't people that are open to the public. These are all, they do various different things, various different businesses and services. So these are not, people don't come in here really, they're not open to the public. So, but even so, it's affected them somehow. But I'm still coming every day. We have our kids at home, so I can't come, all day. Sometimes when they go with the grandparents, a couple days a week, then I'm able to come in here and spend more time. But I'm kind of using this time to get through all the stuff that I have, all the Gaylords and anything that I have built up, those records that I got, so that when, whether it's in probably months from now, I don't know, whenever it is that I can put on my local sale, I'll have everything ready to go and set up and won't have any backlog or anything like that. So yeah, it's crazy. So here's the last of the CDs that I pulled out from this Gaylord, which I was working on earlier in the week to pull out the DVDs. So after I finished the DVDs, I actually just started pulling out all the CDs. There weren't that many. There was probably, I don't know, I can't say exactly, 500, 700. And then once I got down to the bottom, I found these, few dozen DVDs that I couldn't get to because they don't have a Gaylord dumper. But I couldn't get to when I was going through the Gaylord for all the DVDs. So I'm just gonna take those out and sort those out and be done, because I already sorted, photographed, and listed all of the big eBay DVD lots. You can see right here. These are old ones. This is from like a week ago. Those are ones that are going to sell. And then I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are the ones that I pulled out of that one Gaylord. So I pulled, excuse me, more than 500 DVDs out of there that I can sell in those 5 eBay lots. And I can just get them out of here. And then I was able to pull a lot, I don't know, over 100 probably, yeah, definitely over 100 when you take into account the TV box sets, but all the individual DVDs. Here, I'll show you that I'm going to put up for sale locally. So all of these here are all for local sale. And then these over here as well. All of those are just TV box sets, all that. And then these are individual DVDs in different genres. So I pull out stuff I don't have or looks interesting that I think that might do well locally. Because I'm going to end up doing is probably put shelving along this wall, 3 or 4 shelves, bookshelves, and I'm going to fill those with the DVDs. What I'm trying to do, if I can get this to work out, I'm trying to separate the DVDs just to have them in one section. So anybody interested in DVDs, I can just point over there and just go straight. I'll have all the DVDs, including the box set, TV box sets, movies, documentaries. I'll put out some kids stuff as well. So I can just take all of that off of the tables, because what I have now is all of these tables, these 2 tables here have DVDs on them. And then underneath, I've got boxes underneath there that have DVDs in them. And what I do is I end up putting those on another table, another couple tables that I put outside of the warehouse. So instead of doing that, idea is, it depends on how many I can fit in the bookshelves, because already I have this entire bookshelf over here full of DVDs. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 bookshelf, and then I put them on top too. So 5 shelves. I even have some here on this makeshift little shelf that I've created with boxes, just to use the space. So the idea is that I move all of those from those shelves over into new shelving that I'll get over here, bookshelves. And then books will go over there, because as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bookshelves. This one here actually folds open and looks like 2, but it's actually 1. But regardless, it holds a lot. And so then I'll put books over here. And then idea was to add another bookshelf here, so that I would basically have 2 more bookshelves that I could fill with books. And I actually sold a good amount of books this last time, so I've got some shelf space there and in here as well, and there, and over there as well too. So I've got some, probably could fill, put another 30, 40 books or so in the current shelving I have. I was able to pick up this for free, this shelf here. It's a smaller shelf. So I'll have to figure out where I'm going to put that, what I'm going to put on there. So the idea is that I put all the DVDs over there against that wall, so they're all shelved, and then they're up off of tables. And then I'll only have books on this side, so book people can stay over here, DVD people can stay over there. And then when as I free up all this table space, then I can decide, because what I've wanted to do is actually add even more CDs. So I wanted to expand what I have here, go deeper into the genres, and then add more to the alphabetical section, which I have by group and artist, because I have a ton, so I can add more. So hopefully I'll be able to add more CDs, and then I'll have some more space as well for records, because right now all my records are on the floor here. Which has not been a problem. People are willing to get down and dig through the crates that are on the floor, but we'll see. Maybe I'll put some of them up on tables and see how that goes as well. But definitely would add more CDs to the tables, because then I would free up 1, 2, 3, about 3 tables worth and a bookshelf worth of DVDs, and I could add books and then add more CDs and maybe some records. But anyway, so it'll become, the other ideas too is that it's more organized. So I can say, DVDs over there, books over here, and CDs And then I also have the video games. They don't have that many, as you can tell. There's this box. So this one, this one, this one. These are all PC games, and these are new ones that I'm pulling from Gaylord's right now. Because I'd like to be able to better organize video games that I do have. I slowly add to them as I go through the Gaylords. And then I have Blu-rays as well. But the Blu-rays will just go over, as will the box sets with all the DVDs. So anyway, that's where I am with all that. And then I have audiobooks too over here. And believe it or not, some people actually do buy audiobooks. Not a ton of people, but I had one woman who bought a bunch of them at one point, and then a few people who've randomly bought some. And I see some people looking through them. So I'm still going to keep those out. And then I got a bunch of new audiobooks over here on the floor there. I don't know, 30 or so, 35. So I don't have enough space, so I'll have to add another box or so. But anyway, that's kind of where I am with trying to organize all this stuff. And once I finish going through all the CDs, I scan them first for Amazon. And then some I'll check on eBay individually. And then after that, I will go through them and make sure they have discs. If they don't have discs, they got to be thrown out. And then I can see if I can salvage the case, the jewel case. So some will go into genres. Some will go to be alphabetized by group and artist. And then some, what I do is I'll make another pile, which is right here. See this tall pile? This is for alphabetical, right? To go local sale. This tall pile, and there's another smaller one down there, is actually popular titles that I see. So John Cougar Mellencamp, Phil Collins, Elton John, Billy Joel. Also a lot of pop stuff like, NSYNC and stuff from the 90s. Britney Spears. Some classic rock like Journey or James Taylor. You get the point, right? A lot of these titles that I'll see a lot of. What I learned though recently, last couple months, is instead of just taking the disc out and putting it into, as you can see, the piles of loose discs that I'll sell here. These are all CDs, those are DVDs. Or no, these are DVDs, those are CDs. Anyway, instead of doing that, what I'll do is I'll keep them in the cases fully intact, with artwork and jewel case and everything. And once I'm done going through all the CDs, I'll have a big couple piles of those more popular titles of all different genres. These are titles I see all the time. I'm also starting to include country in there as well. And then I'll separate them by genre, and then I'll sell them in lots on eBay. And classic rock does really well. Country, country usually does pretty well. Even a lot of the older pop stuff, like I'll put together, stuff from the late 90s, early 2000s. That's like Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, whatever, things like that. Backstreet Boys. And I'll put all of those into different lots. I'll even do I'll find a bunch of popular female artists like Amy Grant, like Sheryl Crow, like Enya, Celine Dion, a lot of different kinds of Mariah Carey, or then I'll do an R&B one. So I'll do different genres, and then I'll be able to sell those off instead of just putting them into a lot of loose CDs, which I'll do good with for a big lot of 400 or 500. But if I break those up into smaller lots, I'll get more money out of them. Won't take too much time. I just have to put them aside. I know which ones to put aside that I see all the time. And then I'll just check the cases, make sure they're not too destroyed, replace some of them, photograph them, weigh them, and then list them at home, 7-day auction. And, some will do better than others, but overall I'll do pretty well and be able to pull out even more money. So I wish I would have done that a long time ago, but that's been nice to pull out some more money from these common titles that are popular. They're still popular, but there's so many of them that, I can't have 10 of the same, Eagles, copy of the Eagles or Journey or James Taylor here. I'll have 2 or 3 copies here locally. I try to keep it to 2 just to, free up more space for more titles. And then I'll just sell them off in the lots because more than likely I'll come across them again. And if I don't, oh well, but I usually do because there's just so many of those copies of these popular artists in different genres. Like Britney Spears, the amount of Britney Spears. I mean, look at this. I got 3 copies here of this. 3 copies of this. This one, you know, so there's certain titles also, like Frank Sinatra is another one, Simon and Garfunkel. I mean, there's just a lot of them. Cher, one CD that Cher made is I see a gazillion of. So I just try to, you know, pull money out of those by putting them into lots. So anyway, I'll show you once I'm done and I cleared out this Gaylord. So let's do that. Let me share with you my thought process as I go through these stacks of raw CDs that I've pulled from the Gaylords. This is my first step of dealing with the CDs. So this is scanning them, but this is kind of what I'm thinking as I'm going through the stack. So this one here is clearly, Leon Redbone. That sounds interesting, but there's not any other loose CDs, so I'm going to throw that out. Here he is, but I don't have the CD. So I'm going to take the artwork out. I'll tell you what I do with that. So this one I'll just scan. So some of them so here's the thing. So this one I'll scan. If it's turned up like this, and I am familiar with the cover, and I know it's not worth anything, I won't scan it, right? Like this one, I'm pretty sure. I'll scan it anyway. I'd probably just scan it real quick, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be worth any money on Amazon. There's this one that's like this, I know that's not worth anything. Again, I'm talking about individually on Amazon, and I'm not looking at the CDs. I'm not checking the discs if they're there, number one, and if they're in good condition. All I'm doing is scanning. So this one, Mariah, thank God I found you. I'll scan it, even though I'm pretty sure it's not worth anything. It's a single, so I'll scan that one. I'll scan it. Brand new heavies, probably not worth anything, but I'll scan it anyway. This one I know is not worth anything. It's Michael Bolton. This one I'll scan. This Janet Jackson I know is not worth anything individually, so I won't. This NSYNC single, right? You drive me crazy. I'm pretty sure it's not worth anything. I'll test it anyway. I found a bunch of these. This is probably like the third, probably fourth even, that I found. These actually in a lot will probably go, in a lot on eBay, will probably go for good money in an auction. Or if I wanted to wait around, I could list it as a buy it now. This one I know is not. I'm not going to scan it. Bush is probably not, but I'll scan it. Best of Roberta Flack, I'll scan it. No, this one, no. This is a Brazilian singer. I'm not going to try to say her name. I know that's not worth anything. This one here, I find a ton that are in various Asian languages, so Chinese, Japanese. There's a lot from Taiwan, from Hong Kong, Korea, so a lot of different ones. And usually when I scan them, they don't even show up on Amazon. Maybe 1 out of 10, so I don't bother scanning them. But I do keep them for local sale, and I have quite a few. Yeah, this one I would scan. Ones that I've never seen before. This one clearly, putting to the side. This one, I found a bunch of these family archive ones, so I'm putting them over here to the side. I'm going to look them up on eBay. Pretty sure they're not worth any money, but I'll just toss them if they're not. Is this one? Oh, I'll scan that one. Never seen that one before. See, Paul Simon, very popular. I won't scan it, but when I go back through the other stacks of CDs, I'll put it to the side for the more popular titles that I'll put into lots based on genre. The Nutcracker, I haven't seen that one before, so I'll scan it. Luther Vandross is rarely worth any money. I don't think, okay. I wouldn't check it, but I would scan that one. What is this? France Hits, probably not worth anything, but I'll scan it. Beyonce, not worth anything. Is this Maxwell? See, look, I even know. I saw this and I knew it was Maxwell. And I know that's not worth anything. Ray Charles, I've never seen that one before, so I'll scan that one. Pink, I believe I've seen that before. I'll scan it anyway, even though I'm pretty sure it's not worth anything. Hairspray, no money. This is Broken Gap. Oh, no, here it is. Gap Grooves. I've never seen that one before, but I'll scan it anyway. And what I do actually is I put aside these CD collections, or what do you call them? compilations from various stores. So I've seen ones from Gap, I've seen ones from Old Navy, Pier 21, is it? Starbucks, and I put those to the side in a group, and that collection is growing. So as that grows and grows, I'll probably end up putting those in lots on eBay. This one, oh no, Stacy Orico, she's never worth anything. No, that one's definitely not worth scanning. This one I put to the side. I'll scan it anyway, but these I'm actually collecting on the side to get a whole bunch of them together so I can do a lot on eBay. I see a gazillion of Shania Twain, this copy here. And then just by looking at the back here, I know this one is not worth anything. Billy Joel. This one I know is not. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Whoa. What is this? Singing Time. I'll look it up, but it's unlikely. Yeah. This one I've never seen. I'll look it up. I'll scan it. Le click. Probably not worth anything, but I'll check it out. A Christmas album. What is that, Shirley Temple? I don't know, but I'll try that one. Almost all Christmas CDs are not worth anything. I mean, some are. Oh, that's too bad. This Led Zeppelin is not there. I've already seen that one though, so I would scan it. This one, no, not worth scanning. U2. John Tesh is hardly ever worth any money. Older, I've seen that one. Johnny Cash, 3 CDs. I'll scan it just in case. So after everything, I actually have to go and scan them now. Now that I made the video, but that's the stack, and probably, I don't know, maybe a little more than half I would actually scan. So it makes it go faster because there's certain ones I know I don't need to scan. And then they go in this stacks, and then I'm going to go through all these, check this, make sure there's CD number 1, check to make sure number 2 that the CD is playable. And then if it's playable, great. If it's not playable, most of them are, like 95% of them. If it's not, I might try to resurface it depending on what it is. If I don't feel it's worth keeping, then I will just take it out and put it with the loose CDs over here, the loose discs. And then I'll start sorting them, and I'll show you what the different ways or piles that I sort. Also, what I do here with artwork that looks interesting or unique, I think that one looks pretty cool. Never seen it before. Is I actually have a pile going over here. So you got Megadeth, just random inserts, Pantera, whoops. High five. Juanes, Godsmack. So stuff that is Beastie Boys, that is either unique or has interesting artwork. I'm gonna put those to the side. I don't keep the more popular stuff. And then I'm gonna actually put those in a lot. I've done this before, where I put the inserts into a lot and sell it in a 7-day auction starting at 99 cents. Probably once or twice it's only sold for 99 cents. I didn't do a bunch of them. I probably did like 5 or 6. A couple times sold for $4, $5, $6. I think one time it sold for more than that. But what I'm trying to do is just have them be more unique, more visually appealing, and I list them as for using for artwork or art projects, whatever it may be, that type of stuff, so that people who might be looking for that will find them. So I'll try it with this, see how it goes. It's not going to be a huge lot quantity wise. I've done ones that have had hundreds of them in there, but we'll see. Anyway, it's an experiment. Okay, hopefully you can see me well enough. It's not cutting off my whole head or anything. So I went through that whole stack. Here it is nicely put together. I went through that whole stack for Amazon, and this is how much I found. Goose egg for FBA or merchant fulfilled. However, I will still make money with these CDs in various ways. So Paul Simon, right? Graceland, I will check it. Whoa. I will check it. CD's good. So I'll put it in the pile for eBay lots for the more popular titles. Another one, Billy Joel, Stormfront. CD is good. And I will put that in the same pile. Shania Twain, right? Really popular CD. Tons of copies. Should be okay. I will put that in the same pile. Again, I'm not organizing them in that pile. I'm just sticking all the ones in there I know that I can put by genre for sale on eBay. Here is Billboard Top Rock and Roll Hits 1966. And I'm going to put that to the side because I am collecting those. I'm not collecting them, but I'm putting them to the side for after I go through all of these Gaylords, all the CDs, everything. I've been collecting them for quite a while, not just those, but other ones as well. And what I'm going to do is see how many I have after everything is said and done through all those Gaylords. And then if I have a good amount, I can make and I'll look on eBay to see, what's a complete set or close to it, what it's going for, and I'll decide whether I should continue to collect them to get more, if there's still a lot more to get, or if it's worth it for me to put them up now, because some of these different ones that I've been collecting that I've been doing it for like a long time, right? Not just months, but into last year, and I don't know how long, but a while. Since I was in actually the storage unit, which I moved in here in October of last year. So I was putting aside a lot of them, not a ton. I've been doing it more here, but 6 months or more, probably 6, 9 months. So I have a good amount of these. I'll show you later at some point what the other ones are. So here's this one, Stacy Rico, and she does, I think she's a little bit, does like religious stuff. I'm not sure. I'll put her in that pile too. Gap Grooves. Gap Grooves is going to go in the pile for by genre. That's going to go with the rest of those Starbucks Old Navy ones, those collections. Here I've got it's a box set from of Johnny Cash, 3 CDs. So I'm going to check to see if all the CDs are in there. They are, all of them. So that will be one that will go into the local sale for the ones that I have are alphabetized. And this one, because there's 3 CDs, instead of $2, I'll just sell it for $3. So that one will go into a different pile. Here I have Hairspray. Oops. And then I find a random CD in there, right? Some mix that someone made. Look, Rachel's Poopy Mix. Delicious. There's all these cards in there. This is more of a, it seems like it's a bit more of a fancy one. I don't know. Well, I guess not. But see, Hairspray, this is an example where I used to try to sell every single soundtrack. And this is one that I'm not going to bother with because it's too popular. So what I try to do is put ones that are a little less popular, or I should say less available. Ones that I don't see that often, I'll put those into a stack over here. So here I've got even Cowgirls Get the Blues, don't see it that often. Independence Day, I actually don't see that often. Boogie Nights 2, I've never seen. Seven, remember the movie Seven, right? With, what was his name? Wow, Brad Pitt. So there's that one, I've never seen that one. That's a kid one. Meet the Parents, I don't see very often. Actually, The Crow, Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, don't see that very often. So those go in the soundtrack pile. And I will slowly build that up. And I did fairly well on one that I did. The last soundtrack lot that I sold did much better than I've done in the past. So just get a little more interesting titles than the more common ones. Pink, so I will put that with the local sale for it to be alphabetized. Uh-oh. This is Maxwell. I've already got, it's kind of in bad shape. So anyway, I've already got a bunch of those. I can put it in the same pile as all the other ones I've done that I'm gonna put into eBay lots. Beyonce will do the same thing. Well, that will go into the stack where I've got Shania Twain, Billy Joel, Paul Simon, different genres, but like Billy Joel and Paul Simon will go together, and I'll put them with a bunch of other ones that are more the old type of classic rock stuff, even though Paul Simon may not be considered classic rock. But anyway, regardless, people will eat that stuff up. And then the Great Ray Charles, I don't have this one. This one here, so disc is okay, so that'll go in for the local sale alphabetically. Les Hits de France, so I will put this, I've got an international section, I'll put that in there. And then Luther Vandross, Soul, CD's good. I will put that for local sale alphabetically. I got a bunch of his. This is the Nutcracker. I'll probably put that with other classical CDs. What I've done with classical CDs, because if you do bulk CDs at all, if you buy Gaylords or, well, if you buy Gaylords especially, but if you buy in bulk, you know that you can get a ton of classical CDs. And what I've come to realize is there's just so many out there that what I do is I focus on the ones that are a little less frequent or I don't see very often. And certain labels, like this is Red Seal, it's called RCA Red Seal, you can see right there, and then over here it says Red Seal. That one is usually a little more popular. There's other ones that I see all the time, and I don't bother with those. I just put those, take those discs out and put them for in the loose disc pile. John Tesh is rough. He made a lot of music, or he still be making music, I don't know, but I've tried to sell his CDs in groups, in lots on eBay, and no one's wanted them really. So I don't know. I did that with Manhattan, what were they called? Oh, I'm blanking on it. I'll come across them, but not Manhattan Transfer, but a different one that I just pulled out of my local sale, because even online, even on eBay, I couldn't sell them in a big lot, so didn't want to bother. This guy I might end up pulling out. U2, this will go in the eBay pile. Make sure the CD's okay. I've seen a ton of copies of this one. A Christmas album. Well, no, I don't think this one. Well, yeah, I'll put that one in. I got a Christmas pile going here. I try to just keep it to ones that are a little more unique or different and not the more popular stuff. And I saw it in a lot. People will buy Christmas music all year round. The Click. I don't really know what that is, so I'll look that up. This one. I'll have to look that up on my phone, which I'm using to record this. Unwritten Law. I don't know. This looks like could be something interesting, so I'll look that up. Signing Time Songs. This is for kids. Oh, it's all ripped inside, so I probably won't deal with that. I'll throw that out. CD's a little rough. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna look it up. So some of these I'll end up looking up on Discogs with the app, which is a really great way to find out what genre something is if you don't know. Like this one I believe is R&B. Oh wait, is that the right one? So in Love with You, Maverick. It seems to be R&B. There's this one, so a different language. I'll look at the CD, but I'm not gonna look it up or, find out if it's worth selling. The Brazilian singer here, Cesaria Evora. I think I'll put it locally. Best of Roberta Flack, I'm definitely going to put that for the local sale. And then Bush, which I believe is like alternative rock. I will sell that in the eBay lot. U2, the Joshua Tree, eBay lot. In Sync, this will go locally. Whoopsie. This is a single, so it got stuck to the disc. But the disc is in great shape. That'll go locally. Janet Jackson, this will go in the eBay auction pile. I don't know who this is. Caroline Bubico. Oh, it's another language, so that'll go in international. Michael Bolton, I'll put aside for eBay lot. I may or may not be able to put him into a lot that will make sense. Brand new heavies with the CDs a little bit bad, so I might have to, or in bad shape, so I might have to resurface that. I don't know what this is, so I'll look that up. Mariah, there's a single from Mariah Carey. That will go into the local sale. Robin Thicke, A Beautiful World. I believe I already have that one. Kelly Clarkson. What I'm going to do with those, because that's American Idol, I have a stack with American Idol and Glee CDs. So I'm making a collection of those as well, so that I can put those on eBay once I get a lot of them together. I don't know, Amel LaRue, Infinite Possibilities, so I'll have to look that one up. And that's it. Here's all the stacks. So clearly, when I'm doing it without filming myself, I'm much quicker. And this one I have to look up on Discogs to find out which genre it is. And I can put those in the genre pile. And that's what I'm gonna do with 4 more big stacks over here. And then, yeah, I'll be done with CDs. So let's do that. Let me show you something. You see all that? There's a whole lot of nothing. This was full of DVDs, kids' DVDs. And now, those are all over here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boxes of DVD lots, kids' DVD lots. Sold all of them on eBay. They all sold last night and all were paid, I believe. Yeah, well, these were all paid. I believe all of them that sold were paid too. So 10 of them, 10 for 10, which is always nice. So they're all packed up. I just got to go home and actually ship them. So that was awesome. And then I sold another item on eBay, a standalone item for like 45 bucks, which was really nice. So I have like $240 worth of sales, which is sweet. And then I'll have some more stuff ending soon too. I'm putting up some more today. Anyway, so let me go and deal with that. I did it. Check it out. I cleared another Gaylord, you see? 3 pallets, 1, 2, 3. I've gone through 3 pallets. There's one Gaylord containing 2 other Gaylords inside of it so that I can make the most of the space. But it feels awesome to clear out all this space. And everything is done except those discs, those loose CDs. I'm gonna do that next week. It's Friday, so I'm gonna do it next week. List those, and then I'll be able to dive into this Gaylord, which I've already pulled some stuff out of. Looks like it has quite a lot of DVDs, but also a lot of TV box sets, so that's good. Anyway, let's see, like Alf, Sopranos, etc. So that'll be the next one. And yeah, that's it. So it's Friday night. I stayed here way too late, but I wanted to finish that Gaylord, completely finish it, put it away, clear out the space, and be ready to dive into the next one. For next week, things have slowed down in terms of how fast I can process this stuff. So normally I could probably get through about 2 Gaylords a week, but I'm more like 1 right now. I'm trying to I'm gonna try next week to get to 1.5 through 1.5. That would be nice by Friday to have gotten through half of that other one. And then the next week, so maybe like 3 more weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks to finish the rest of these Gaylords. And what I'll be left with is all of these CDs, and a lot of them I will, by genre, a lot of those I will sell as lots on eBay, and that takes a few days to go through all of that. It depends on how many, but you know, it could take a full day, it could take a day and a half. And I mean, checking the cases, making sure that they're not too bad condition, replacing some of them, and then you know, taking photos and weighing them and all that, and going home and listing them. Um, so yeah, once I get to that, then I can get to the records, and I have some books over there too. But yeah, anyway, so this is really the first week here. I mean, there's been a lockdown in California for longer than this week, but just how it's affected people around here in this warehouse space and just generally in the area. This has kind of been the first week where things have really been quiet, and most people are in their houses or in their cars. But yeah, most people are just not outside. So we'll see what happens next week. You know, this is a day by day thing. It's probably gonna be like this for a while. Probably won't have I'm planning on having my next warehouse sale. What is it? April. So first weekend of May. However, it's very likely that won't happen. It'll have to be pushed back to June, which, you know, it's not great, but it's okay at the same time because I can plan more, have everything out, you know, try to get a lot of people to show up, and people will not have been coming for a while. So hopefully a lot will come. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are staying safe that are watching this. You're staying inside, you're practicing social distancing, you're not, if you do have to go out, it's things like to the bank or to buy food or go to the mail or go to the post office or UPS or whatever, those types of things, and otherwise staying at home and just not going around other people until this virus is gone. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and always keep booking. It's a Friday. This is a Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Dang. It is crazy. I don't know if we'll ever see something like this again. This is a main street, man. These are two big streets. And there's nobody.